it's a matter of a technical thing in response to questions, whether that sort of provision of service you regard as being something which is, shall we say, desirable.
I think the starting point is that all providers of legal services have to, in my view, deliver an adequate professional service, whether you're doing it for free or not. Now, whether you have to do it to the legal standard that is required of lawyers, I've no doubt the consumer movement would say that that is unnecessary, and one has to bear in mind things like Citizens Advice Scotland. But they're not offering, well, you have to bear in mind things like CEBs. But nonetheless, I think that whoever's offering legal services should offer it in an adequate manner. I worry occasionally about execution-only legal services, and I certainly worry about it when lawyers deliver it. There are circumstances in which lawyers can do it, but I'm never very keen on them.
Yes, okay. Do you mind if I ask you just a follow-up to earlier evidence as well on the question of conflicts of interest? I mean, some play was made about the position of surveyors and surveying services being supplied by legal firms. In fact, by a new entity in that regard. Do you have any observations on that potential, particularly from the point of view of conflict of interest?
Yes, I think I saw your conflict of interest. I mean, one of the arguments made in relation to alternative business structures is that there is an inherent conflict of interest because if a client, the one-stop shop sounds a very good idea, and I've already said it is a good idea in multidisciplinary practices, but there's an inherent conflict in the sense that if the person comes through the door and the lawyer sees them and they need an accountant, the lawyer will very likely send them to his or her accounting partner rather than the niche specialist down the road or elsewhere. Now, that's a conflict of interest, but I think in most circumstances you can balance the convenience of getting what we hope is at least an adequate service from the accounting. I'm not casting aspersions on the accountant, but we hope that the internal accountant will deliver a good service, and even if it's not as good quite as the niche specialist down the road, that's the convenience of having a one-stop shop outweighs that. But I can see in the situation you were describing that there is a potential conflict of interest.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Paterson. It's been exceptionally useful evidence this morning. The committee will now suspend briefly.